A warm welcome to everyone. I'm so delighted to be together with Lata Ramesh today, certified hypnotherapist and anxiety coach. And we are going to talk about the topic how the power of hypnosis can help us to have a less stressful, more peaceful, joyful, and most importantly, effortless parenting journey. And Lata and I, we know each other from a conference we met last year in San Diego. And we both attended a course about trauma release, which is one of my favorites, and I think your favorite topic too. And we want to share with you how hypnosis, so first of all, to give you an idea of what hypnosis means for us, and then how hypnosis has changed our life as a woman, as a mother, and also our professional life. And then we would like to share some examples about the people we have worked with, how in a very short amount of time, they were able to go from a burden, stress, anxiety, emotional pain to really the joyful, playful moments with their children and their family. And so, Lata, if you would like to introduce yourself so that the listener know where are you coming from and give us a short idea what hypnosis means to you.
Thank you, Pia. Thank you so much for, first of all, inviting me. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. And it was so much fun when we hung out together during the conference last year. And it was such a pleasure to know a like-minded, having just connecting with a like-minded colleague who's so passionate about her work too. So thank you for inviting me, first of all.
Of course. And I just want to add, Lata, the thing I really love the most is your wisdom and your, I always had the feeling you feel what you're talking about. You're not someone who just shares theoretically ideas, and you are on a path and in a process to really be aligned with your higher purpose. And maybe we have time to talk about that as well. That's why that's one thing what I so love and admire.
I think we need to have another video for the talk about higher purpose because that's a deep topic. But I really loved connecting with you. I loved seeing your passion and your deep thoughts. It was really inspiring for that. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's a pure joy.
Yeah. So for the listeners, really, I just wanted to share that I'm Lata Ramesh. I'm an anxiety coach and hypnotherapist, and my focus is to work on with parents with related to their anxiety. And one of the things that draws me to hypnosis is, I started many years back, had a wonderful mentor, hypnosis mentor. And one of the things I realized as I started learning about hypnosis is that we think about hypnosis like, oh, something esoteric, or we watch in the movies and we think, oh my God, is that something, weird or dangerous?
What is
But
this person doing with us?
I know. But actually, hypnosis is something that's so common, right? And, when you're driving and you missed your exit because you're daydreaming, you probably were in hypnosis mode.
Yeah.
Or if I'm so riveted in that television show I'm watching and I can't hear the phone ring or I can't hear the doorbell ring, then I'm hypnotized by the television, and it happens to everyone. So we don't realize it that we are in that hypnosis mode or the brainwave mode that is, that we all are when we are in hypnosis many times a day.
Mhm.
And what drew me to this with respect to parenting, especially, is that the children from 0 to 7 years are on almost a constant hypnosis mode. They are in that mode where the gates of their subconscious mind are constantly open, which means that whatever you tell them, it goes deep into their subconscious mind. They are like sponges who absorb everything that we talk to them, right? So if a parent says, "You're such an amazing child, you draw so beautifully," they think of themselves like the most world famous artists in the world, and that's their opinion that they get about themselves. Or if the parent tells the child that you are so stupid and you're so clumsy, you can't even do this. And especially when that's being told repetitively, that goes deep into their subconscious mind as well. So when the child is in hypnosis for so many years in their life, it's so much more important for us to pay attention to parenting. Yeah. What do you think, Pia?
So for me, hypnosis is really you described it as well, if we focus our awareness, and it is the bridge to dive into our subconscious wisdom. And in our subconscious wisdom, we store all of our emotions, all of our memories, our creativity, and we are using our wisdom on a conscious level. I think it's 5%, is that right? And 95% is really our subconscious. And hypnosis is just a wonderful, effective way to dive into this subconscious wisdom and to access your true potential. And the reason why it's so fundamental as a parent, because we all have an incredible wisdom inside. We all have so much wonderful intuition as a mom, as a father. And once we are controlling using our mind in a way that we control things, we can't access the deeper wisdom at the same time. And in hypnosis, it's not that we try to exclude our rational mind. No, the rational mind is part of everything, but we give space for the rest, for all the subconscious wisdom. And so for me, it's just a wonderful tool in a very short amount of time, without needing much around, to focus our awareness and to go deep into our let's say, truest potential.
Very beautifully said. Yeah.
And what would you say brought you to hypnosis? I mean, have you heard about it, and in what way has it influenced your life quality and also your professional life?
Oh yeah, I mean, I can say very, very honestly that just getting this training of hypnotherapy has changed my life, and not only changed my life, but also changed my life of my family, because I was able to help them in many, many ways. So my awareness grew so much about how my mind is working. And before that, we might have this idea about the mind being like a dictator. Means whatever is the thought that's going on in the mind, we believe it 100% and we act on it. And we don't feel that we have a distance between us and our thoughts. We are not able to see that. Or sometimes we think of our mind as the enemy. We think, oh, I have to fight my mind. I have to do this and I have to tame my mind. But instead, for me, I think with hypnosis, what I've realized I tell my clients that think of your mind as your little child, right? And what do? Your child doesn't know what's happening, and she's playful and running around here and there, and you call her to eat and she doesn't come, and then you have to cajole her and tempt her and bribe her and speak sweetly to her and make her come here and do what needs to be done. But hypnosis helps you like literally parent your mind. And when you start parenting your mind, you feel more in control of your mind rather than feeling helpless about it. And I think for me, my understanding and experience with hypnosis was just that I started realizing that I have so much more control. I have so much more power over myself, over my mind. And because of that, I have so much of power over my decisions, over my life, and over the choices that I make. And I don't have to feel like a victim. I don't have to feel that, oh my God, I'm having all these problems and I don't know what to do about it. And I don't have to feel like a victim. Rather, I can feel like a victor because I have that ability to make the choice, think the right thoughts, speak the right words, and do the right action that will empower me and enable me to face that particular challenge in life in the best possible way. And then I find it's literally like surfing the tide, right there, and you're able to go smoothly over it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. My experience was not so much about to get control over my mind. It was more that, so I started to search for an approach that helped me be more mindful as a parent. Um, Not so much to control my thoughts, but more to be present, which of course has to do with controlling my thoughts. But for me, it was more that I started to yell at my daughter, or I was screaming, or I used methods that I was shocked that I'm capable. I mean, I was never shouting so loud before. And I realized that my daughter is really triggering me. And at the beginning, I thought she has to change, of course, and my husband has to change. And then I realized, no, I can only change myself. And hypnosis helped me to realize the self-limiting beliefs that I am carrying on my shoulders, and the feeling of not being enough, the feeling of not feeling seen and heard and respected, and being unworthy, and I have to work hard to be important, to be someone. And I realized that even if I really work hard to be mindful, I meditate, I practice self-compassion, at certain moments, I was freaking out. And hypnosis was the first approach that helped me in a really short amount of time, which means one session, to get access to what is actually triggering my behavior, what is the root cause, which are our beliefs, because our beliefs, they create the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we act. So if I believe I have to work hard, what do I modeling my child? And if I believe I have to work hard, I'm in a constant stress mode. So all that was possible for me to discover and to heal, to transform in a very gentle and pleasant way, compared to other therapy methods where you either have to do therapy for a very long time, or it's really a hard process. And I always thought I have to work hard. So, but I realized it's so gentle, and it feels so good to have the space to allow yourself to be yourself, which was really an amazing aha moment for me.
I totally agree with that, Pia. And beliefs are the root cause of so much of our struggles and challenges that we face. And when I started working on my own anxieties, which I became much more aware when I entered hypnosis, when I did my training, is that I became more aware of my own anxieties and realized that a lot of my parental unwanted behaviors in parenting came from my anxiety about my child, for my child. And so when I started working on just getting that emotional regulation for myself and bringing my mind to a state of calm, I was able to, access my own intuition. And you won't believe it. Most of the time in parenting, we think we have to refer to so many parenting experts and read thousands of books and watch these videos to know what exactly needs to be done. And one of the things I tell myself is nobody knows my child better than me.
Mhm.
And nobody has so much of love for my child more than the parents, right? So if I am able to just take out and keep aside my anxieties for a moment
Mhm.
and then connect to my deeper wisdom and deeper intuition, and then think about that heartfelt, what is the right approach, that what do I need to say? What is the exact strategy that I need to deploy at this moment to address this particular behavior that my child is facing? Then it becomes much more easier for me. And I've seen that actually being validated by my children, because within a few months of me starting my hypnosis training, my daughter told me, "Amma, you're a much better mother than before." It was like a very good validation for
My
me.
daughter said the same. She said, "You have definitely changed."
And yes, and honestly, it's about changing ourselves. While all of the we think parenting is about changing the child, but the moment we start changing ourselves, the child also automatically follows, and that's the natural course of events.
Yeah, beautiful. And I want to add two things. One, that you said, when I put my anxiety at the side, um, of course, there is a process you're using to transform the anxiety. And I think to experience that being anxious, being in this mode of constantly driven by anxiety is not our authentic self. And that itself to realize, because I was suffering with anxiety for decades, waking up in the morning, during the day, and I thought that's normal. So I was constantly, everyone asking, are you anxious as well? And I mean, to think that's us is just a way to make it worse. And if we are then tapping into our true self and realize how it feels to be effortless, how it feels to be at ease, to be compassionate, and we know from science that we are not capable to be in survival mode and compassion at the same time. Our brain isn't functioning that way. And the other point I want to say is that if you as a parent are suffering with anxiety and you respond the way you feel guilty for, stop blaming yourself, because it's not your fault. It's because there is stuff in your nervous system that triggers you to behave certain ways. I say it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility, and more important, it's your chance. It's a gift. So if we see parenting on a longer term, it's really the gift to heal your wounds and to go into a state where you feel blissed and fulfilled. So,
Yeah.
Lata, share a little bit about the experience you made with your clients as an anxiety coach and hypnotherapist. What have you seen in terms of results? And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Pia, I totally concur with what you just said about how it's not your fault that you have this anxiety, but it is your
Mhm.
responsibility.
Mhm.
And in my experience, what I've seen is a lot of times when I'm working with my clients, when we go into their root causes, we do identify limiting beliefs that kind of triggers their anxieties as well.
Mhm.
That triggers the approach that they are using, the fear-driven approach to parenting that they are following right now, which is not empowering for them. And
Mhm.
when they want to shift from fear-driven approach to compassion-driven approach, to being acceptance-driven approach, then they need to kind of move aside their anxieties, which means that they have to work on their belief systems and also work on their traumas. A lot of parental anxiety comes from their own traumas in their childhood that they have experienced as a child themselves. So we have to address
Generational trauma. Yeah.
generational trauma and also their own childhood trauma,
Mhm.
which they have, their belief system. A lot of their limiting beliefs might be something that has come into play between when they were 0 to 7 years old, when their authority figures, their parents, have said things which is limiting to them, and that's got deeply absorbed in their subconscious mind.
Mhm.
So can share an example with one of the clients I worked recently, who was going through extreme parental anxiety because of her adult daughter going through her challenges in mental health. And she was trying to help and she wanted to help. She was extremely concerned about helping her daughter, but whatever she was doing was not coming out well. She was not received well. Of course, that's an adult daughter that we are talking about. So communication is the key. You have to communicate in the right way. But one of the examples that we talked about, metaphor, and we use metaphors a lot in hypnosis. So one of the metaphorical examples that I shared with her is parenting is a lot like if you think that your child is going through a challenge, think of it as like the child has fallen in quicksand, right? If the child has fallen in quicksand, what would the parent reactively, instinctively think of doing? Many of them think that they just have to jump into the quicksand. But when you jump into the quicksand, what happens? You are neither able to help your child, nor you are able to help yourself. Now you need a third person to help both of you. But if you feel as a parent that you want to be of help to your child when the child is going through a challenge and really help him or her come out of that challenge in a resilient way, then you need to be standing on firm ground. And which means that we have to have emotional regulation for ourselves. We have to work with our own traumas or anything that comes in between us and being in that state of calm and peace. It's only in the state of calm and peace that we can connect with our own resources from within. And we are able to trust our intuition and know how to say, what to say, how to say it. And when I finished the session with my client, and she messaged me after a day and she said, "You won't believe it. I was so calm when my daughter did the same thing that would irritate me and trigger me in the previous occasions." And she reacted so much more positively to that. And I knew exactly what to say and what to do. And after listening to the hypnosis, I like to give audios of the hypnosis so that they can listen to it like a guided meditation. And she said that she was sleeping much better just after a session. So that was huge.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it starts all with our own unmet needs, right? And with everything that's lingering in our nervous system to respond the way we want to. And what I found so amazing that children, even at a very young age, as you mentioned at the beginning, they are so highly perceptive. They know exactly when we are out of our center, out of our balance. And it took me a while to understand why my daughter is not giving up. She tries, if I'm out of myself, she still tries to. And the reason why is because children are longing for an adult that is centered, so they can learn and grow, because at the end of the day, they want to grow and learn the same than we as an adult want. So to see it as really a process where we all grow and learn without failing. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And children are such great sponges.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we are emotionally dysregulated, we are upset, we are angry, we are fighting, they absorb that and that agitates them, that creates anxiety for them. And if we are calm, we are centered, we are balanced,
Yeah.
they are sponges to that too, and they absorb that. And within a few minutes or maybe
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes, they come to a state of center and
Or
calm.
it can even happen within seconds, because as
Yes.
soon as they feel us centered, everything else falls apart. And I was just
Absolutely.
working with a mother with two little ones. She was suffering from depression, and after one session, she said she was able to respond in a total new way, where she didn't feel maxed out, where she wasn't able to have any clear thoughts. She was very grounded. She was capable to engage with the children in a compassionate way, and also with her husband. So the rapid transformation is possible within
It is.
hypnosis.
It is. And
So,
hypnosis helps you to get into that state of center and calm so quickly, so easily. And it's sustainable. You can
yeah.
sustain that for a long, once you get the hang of it, it can sustain that for a long period of time.
So Lata, share with us where people can find you to work on their anxiety if they want to.
You can connect with me in my website, that is www.thehealinggym.com, HEALINGGYM, thehealinggym.com.
And we will
And
put the webpage in the description.
yes, yes. And I also on my Facebook by the same name, and I have an Instagram account called Sacred Healing Gym. So, I mean, it would be lovely to have the listeners come and listen to the content that I share there. Yes,
I
yeah.
can highly recommend it. Thank you so much, my dear, and I hope to see you very soon in person again.
What about you, Pia? What do share where the audience can find you
Oh,
as well?
they can find me on beginningwell.com. And
Okay.
I will put the addresses into the description as well. And if you want to learn more about really proven and rapid and effective ways to be the mindful parent you want to be, subscribe to the channel. Leave us a comment if you have any questions. I love to hear and learn from you. And other than that, we see us in our next upcoming video. Thank you so much, Lata, for joining. Thank you,
Thank
my
you
dear.
for having me. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.